Craig might look like the most harmless character in Malcolm in the Middle, but once you pay attention to how he acts around Lois, things get a lot creepier. It actually starts in Craig's very first appearance in the episode Red Dress. He shows up at work with a gift for Lois.
Oh, Craig.
Happy anniversary. 16 wonderful years to the same man. That Hal is one lucky hombre.
A lipstick he bought specifically for her, which is already a little strange for a coworker. But the really weird part is how he knew which one to buy.
Oh, look at, I've been meaning to try this color.
I know, I saw you eyeing it a couple weeks ago.
Meaning Craig somehow saw her there, without her knowing. And just like that, the show quietly establishes something about Craig that becomes a running theme for the rest of the series.
I didn't know we carried this brand.
We don't.
So, where did you see me?
So, big plans for tonight? What are you going to be wearing?
He isn't just paying attention to Lois at work, he's paying attention to her everywhere. Not long after that, Craig shows just how far his feelings for Lois go. At one point, she casually mentions that she has a romantic dinner planned with Hal.
Oh, I've been fantasizing about this night forever.
A completely normal thing to say about your husband. But in Craig's head, the scene plays out a little differently. Hal isn't the one across from her. Craig is. Meanwhile, Hal is in the background sadly sweeping the floor while the two of them enjoy their perfect evening. And just like that, it becomes pretty clear that Craig isn't just crushing on Lois. In his mind, he's already replacing Hal. In another episode, the Wilkerson house gets fumigated, so the whole family suddenly needs somewhere to stay for the night. Craig offers them his trailer, which on the surface just looks like him helping out a coworker.
Well, thanks again.
You're welcome.
Bye.
For her, it's just a normal goodbye, but Craig clearly thinks the moment means something more.
Goodbye.
Lois immediately notices and pulls back, and Craig is left standing there with his arms half raised, realizing that the romantic moment he imagined in his head was never happening. Craig's obsession shows up again when Lois suddenly loses her job at Lucky Aid after a misunderstanding with her boss.
Velcro. I win the pool.
Craig immediately takes it upon himself to fix the situation. When he says he talked to the manager, what he really means is that he spent the last hour practically begging the guy to give her the job back. Eventually, he manages to convince him.
I just had a meeting with Mr. Pinner. Well, more like an hour of begging, really. But the point is, you can have your old job back!
When Lois hears she might be able to get her job back, the entire family celebrates.
That is such good news!
Craig looks like he just experienced the happiest day of his life, mostly because he finally got to hold her hands. Unfortunately, the offer comes with a catch.
All you have to do is apologize and let him dock your pay $150. And you have to work the graveyard shift for a couple months.
She immediately refuses. But Craig, still trying to prove how devoted he is, proudly says that
I will work every graveyard shift right alongside you, every single one of them.
Which he clearly believes is some kind of romantic gesture. Lois, however, is not impressed. And very soon, Craig is about to make the biggest mistake of his life.
Back to the grind!
Craig's creepy devotion reaches a breaking point during the episode where the Lucky Aid gets robbed. Two thieves walk into the store and demand the money from the registers.
Just relax, cowboy. We have a way of doing this so nobody gets hurt. I give you every bit of money in this drawer, and you and your friend just leave, okay?
Everything seems under control. Then Craig shows up and immediately starts talking to the robbers like they're normal customers.
Did you enjoy your Lucky Aid shopping experience, gentlemen?
Craig, they're in a hurry.
This won't take a second. Hi, I'm Craig, I'm the assistant manager.
Things escalate quickly and everyone gets taken to the back room where the safe is. Craig tries to act like a hero and refuses to give them the combination.
Craig, give them the combination to the safe.
No.
What?
Except he doesn't actually know it, because the store never trusted him with it. After nearly passing out from fear, Craig suddenly decides that if he's about to die, there's something he needs to tell Lois.
Lois, I love you with all my heart. You're my reason to get up in the morning. You are my everything.
Craig.
Lois, I don't want to feel this way. It's my heart.
Unfortunately for Craig, the moment that follows completely destroys him.
No to every single fantasy, wish, dream, and elaborate scenario that involves the two of us. No, no, no!
For a brief second, it almost feels like this might finally be the wake-up call he needed. But instead, Craig somehow stays in the Wilkersons' lives for years after that, still helping out whenever Lois asks, still hanging around the family.
Tell her I'm sorry.
Tell her I need my baby. Oh.
Later in the series, we see just how far Craig's fixation actually goes. In one episode, Dewey takes care of Craig's cat while he's away on a trip. While he's inside his house, he notices something strange near the window, a pair of very powerful binoculars.
Hey, you can see our backyard from here.
Hey!
Craig basically has a perfect view of Lois's house whenever he wants, but things get even worse when Dewey is trying to get the cat from under Craig's bed. We see two boxes hidden underneath it. One is filled with dozens of photos of Lois, and the second one makes the situation even weirder. Two small dolls which make it pretty clear Craig's feelings for Lois stopped being harmless a long time ago. Craig even ends up living with the Wilkerson family for a while after his own house burns down. Since the fire technically happened because of them, the family feels responsible and lets him stay at their place until things get sorted out.
Look, I know I'm being demanding. Jellybean's apartment was burned down too.
And Craig immediately starts enjoying the situation a little too much.
Now this is nice.
For him, this is basically the closest he has ever been to the life he imagined with Lois. He's in the same house, eating at the same table, even acting like he belongs there.
Stay out of this, Craig.
Hey, I live here too, don't I?
At one point, he's taking long showers in the same bathroom Lois uses, looking way too comfortable for someone who's supposed to be a temporary guest. And when Hal leaves the house for a few days to visit Francis, Craig suddenly starts acting a lot more confident.
Of course, shame to waste electricity, if you got the room.
He walks around like he belongs there, and even claims that whatever feelings they once had are completely in the past. For a moment, it almost sounds like Craig has finally moved on. But the way he acts around Lois makes it pretty clear that he hasn't. Years later, Craig still hasn't completely given up on the idea that something might happen between him and Lois.
Just say there's something you have to do. And you've been hoping someone else would do it. But you've gradually realized you have to do it yourself, even if it breaks the rules.
Lois is clearly talking about a small work situation, but Craig immediately interprets it very differently. Suddenly, he looks excited, almost relieved, like he believes this was some kind of hidden message meant just for him. Within seconds, he jumps to the most extreme conclusion possible.
Dear God, I thought I'd lost my chance years ago.
Huh?
Let's just get in the car and drive. You don't have to pack. I have clothes for you in the trunk.
Lois is obviously confused and shuts the idea down immediately. But the craziest part is how exactly did Craig get those clothes in the first place? Eventually, things reach a breaking point when Malcolm finally confronts Craig about the whole situation.
You're gonna show her that Craig Feldspar can't be pushed around.
Thank you, Malcolm, for opening my eyes.
For years, Craig has convinced himself that maybe, somehow, Lois secretly cares about him. But Malcolm completely destroys that illusion in a matter of seconds.
She said the only reason she ever makes eye contact with you is because the rest of you is too hard to look at.
She did?
It's the first time someone actually forces Craig to face the reality of the situation. And as brutal as it is, it finally pushes him to do something drastic. After more than a decade of chasing something that was never gonna happen,
Quit my job at Lucky Aid, bought a little secondhand Vespa, and I'm about to hit the road.
What?
for the first time in the entire series, it actually looks like Craig might finally be ready to move on.
This is it, the open road. Great new chapter is about to be written.
But before he can disappear, Lois finds out what happened and decides to track him down.
You ruined his life so you could go see some band? Are you that selfish?
She catches up with him on the side of the road just as he's about to leave everything behind. And for the second time in the series, Craig finally opens up and tells her how he really feels.
Because for the last 12 years, I've dedicated my life to a relationship that can't exist. I can't go back to that.
But even after everything that's happened between them, Craig still asks for one thing.
There's got to be some scenario where you could see us together, please.
And that's when Lois gives him an answer that is probably the most brutally honest moment in their entire relationship.
Hal is dead. I have dementia and I need someone to keep me from catching myself on fire. And I'm asleep 22 hours a day. Then and only then, maybe, could we be together.
It's like you're reading straight out of my diary.
And somehow, after all the humiliation, the obsession, and more than a decade of chasing something impossible, Craig still manages to walk away with a tiny bit of hope. And that pretty much sums up Craig as a character. What started as a simple crush slowly turned into one of the strangest obsessions in the entire show. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing and let me know which Malcolm in the Middle character we should look at next.